also identified from being from Kansas City. And I think that flavors my attitude and my perspective so much more than the fact that I live in Detroit. Even though I've lived in the city of Detroit for 10 years, I don't know if I feel like a Detroiter. You know, and in some ways because of the sort of the interior, the inside sort of culture of location in a certain way where like, a lot of my friends in Detroit are also transplants, you know? And so I've made my life in Detroit, but I also know it might just be a matter of time until I give it up, you know, if I get a teaching job somewhere else. You know, my girlfriend's gonna go to school, well, I don't know that. But anyway, there's also part of me that's emotionally prepared that like, in 2 years, I may move away from Detroit and never come back because of some better opportunity. You know, the reason why I came to Detroit was for education, and because everybody I met was awesome, I stayed. You know, everyone was so kind and it made it easy to be there. What's that?
Pretty much the same, I guess, with a lot of people in Ghana.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's one thing that makes me, we found out that it makes me sad a couple, maybe 18 months ago, to really, really realize that Detroit is like a university city.
Yeah.
People come to Detroit to learn these remarkable life lessons, and some of them continue on their journey. And in doing so, like, we create these relationships, though. And it's like, oh man, I wish you would have stayed forever, though. Yeah.
And then hopefully the things that, you know, because similar to what you're saying about Hungary, you know, when people ask me about Detroit, you know, in other cities in the U.S., I explain to them like, Detroit is only special in the way that we have like all of the problems. You know, like we don't have a unique problem from other American cities. Like every American city has the problems that we have. We just happen to have like all of them.
Yep.
At the same time.
Yep.
And then in some ways, I feel like Detroit, if we can't figure out forward movement and this kind of positive, constructive, you know, I mean, it's just a matter of time until like everything else is going to fall apart. And same thing when it comes to thinking about education. Like Corey and I, all, you know, we live together and we talk about like college teaching and like, is this death? You know, like Corey's like, do I give up being an artist? Do I give up being a teacher? Like one of them's gotta, like, this isn't, not to put you on the spot, but these are conversations we have, and the notion that like if we can't figure out something, you know, it's inevitable. People from other cities like to shit on Detroit in the way because they're afraid that is what's going to happen to them. Like how you say things that are happening in Hungary now is like the worst nightmare for the rest of European countries. Yeah, and so it's like, well, if we can't figure something out, you know, good luck, America.
Good luck, world.
Good luck, human race.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Race.
Cool. We really got positive.
We have 5 minutes till we go ding-a-ling-a-ling.
So,
should we look at those questions from the ninth thing maybe?
Yeah.
Oh, what are the questions?
They're like right in front of me.
We're supposed to lead with
I think
those.
we just like kind of forgot about it.
Oh.
The 200 top questions.
Oh yeah, then we're supposed to like notate them.
Okay, no, they're really easy. So,
Oh, okay.
are there any of you who doesn't like to travel? I think that's
enough.
Who doesn't like to travel?
yeah.
Could we don't like to travel, but do you travel a lot anyway?
I think it's about if you like to travel or not in general.
I've got absolutely mixed feelings about it. I usually have a good experience, but
When you get there.
but it terrifies me, and the organisation I hate, and all of these things. So I would probably avoid it most of the time, but if something happens, then I'll do it. Or if somebody books something, I'll do it. If somebody asks me to do something, I always say yes. But if I was to organise travelling on my own, it wouldn't happen. No.
Well, the exact question, because I was like, that sounds funny, is from Neha Chokshi. Are there any homebodies among you who do not like to travel?
But here you are.
That's why I'm always doing the dishes.
Yeah, I think Andy and Corey are very homebody.
And then there's no reason for me to make any of that food, but I had the urge to make because there's all the other food. So we're just gonna have a ton of food for Thursday. But I'm gonna make brownies. There's gluten-free vegan brownies over there. If anybody wants some. And then all these other stupid things. But I felt I was like, I will feel normal.
It's interesting because you used to describe Detroit as hermity.
Yeah.
What do you mean by that?
It was something that I also experienced, even though I love going to every show. It's the feeling like, I mean, we don't even have the rain like in Glasgow, which would mean that you stay in, play cards or something. But I know so many artists who, when I see them after months and months and months, you don't go, where were you? You go, oh, like, I hope you weren't doing anything. That sounds really great. And some people are also funny personalities that you're kind of like, how do you mesh with people in public? You should probably be a hermit. And I think they kind of have this place where they go out when they have to or something, but it's not the same as like needing to feel like you're responsible.
Or like that I've known Bryce through Cedric probably since 2008, 2009.
Yeah.
We had to come to Glasgow first to actually spending, because like I'm doing my thing. Like you're always very active, but still it's like, people are kind of in their bubble. Like even though certain people see me frequently all the time, but like there's also I was in Ohio and I taught in Ohio for a year, and it didn't really register. People still ask me now, like, oh, are you still in Ohio? Oh no, I've been back for 3 years. But also when I was in Ohio, people didn't know I had left. So the kind of the hermity, like, so it's like people get in, and that's the problem is that we get into our own little bubbles and our own little routines.
I think that's true even here as well, and for me that was part of the good thing about the show, and in fact why I did this work, which is this stupid song and the video and everything, which is just like almost like celebrating that moment where folk can come together for a little while and create this sort of meta-identity or something, and kind of have this sort of moment, and then it kind of, maybe becomes a part of it and then comes together again. But I guess you don't forget that, and these it builds relationships and things, But was that the bell?
It was the bell for 8:30. I don't remember what that means. I don't remember if we were going for 15 more minutes. But it's 8:30 now.
Did we get all the questions?
Well,
It's a tougher.
Tougher than what do we do after capitalism?
Well, it's by Duke Akiba. Yes. Who's your
Today?
model and why?
Who's what?
Your model and why?
Is that the full question?
Oh, who is your model or source of inspiration? Sorry, my notes.
Sorry. Okay, there's like another word blocking. Yeah, who is your model or source of inspiration and why?
Well, since it's Mother's Day and I'm homesick, it's my mama. But not for any particular reason, just because I have really good parents and I feel like I am a good product of them, and it worked somehow. Something worked, and somehow I'm sane and here and traveling, and they let me travel even though they don't want me to. And
You're doing awesome.
How would you characterize good parents? I'm looking for tips. I know. But anyway, retrospect. Nuts and bolts,
loving, and like they listen and they put down the rules, but they don't. You just have to listen to the kids and not like try to force them to do something they don't want to do because you want them to do it. I mean, not in like danger, in like, protect them and support them when they. So there was a retreat. I went to a Catholic school, and there was a retreat thing that we did that was, you know, very religious and everything, but it was still fun. Or I mean, it was a thing. It was a thing. So it was like a boys and girls separate thing, and then like you all come together at the end and stuff. But there was a portion of it where, unbeknownst to you, they would contact friends and family members for letters and gift them to you during this, you know, sleepaway camp. And so my dad wrote a poem, and I didn't, you know, like not creative. Like he's creative. He would do like doodles like this mandala here, and like have me fill them in with colors. Like that was the most creative he was. And so, but in the poem he said, like if I ever fell down, he would be there to pick me back up, point me back at the world, and push me back out there. So I think that's a good parent. Just know that you're there.
When I add on to that good parent thing, for me, my parents, they had the rules, and they would often say shit to me like, I'm not your peer, I'm not your friend. But they always talked to me at every age like Bryce was fully intelligent. It was never the ageism thing. So at every age I had this opportunity to really investigate myself, ask questions, and do shit and get in trouble. But at least it was like this very full frontal trouble. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't like this timid thing. You know what I mean? So once we hit, like when I turned 17, my brother was 14. I skipped school one day, had this really powerful spiritual experience with some friends, came back home, and denounced Christianity. At 17, like I do not agree with this shit anymore. I never did.